Do you struggle with negative thoughts? Do you wish you had more tools in your tool belt in order to handle stress, anxiety, and the juggle that is mom life? This video is for you. Hi, I'm Lisa Canning. I'm the Possibility Mom. I'm a mom of 8 gorgeous kids, and I help moms through one-on-one coaching and small group experiences learn how to be great moms and pursue their dreams at the same time. And in today's video, I want to share with you some of the things that help me when I am feeling negative, stressed, or overwhelmed, and things that I really think will help any mom, regardless of family size, regardless if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're working full-time outside of the home, if you are a entrepreneurial mom, if you are running a thriving business from your home, whatever it is, I think these things are going to be helpful to have in your toolbox, especially as we continue to live through a pandemic. The Possibility Mom is a book that I wrote just over a year ago. And I want to start with some resources from this book that I use honestly every single day, often multiple times a day. And so let's get into it without further ado. Okay, so positive affirmation number 1. Oh, and by the way, I want to encourage you. At the end of this video, I'm going to share how you can learn how to develop these positive affirmations for yourself. And if you are curious how you even start this conversation or where these come from, stay tuned to the end of this video and I will share with you a way that you can absolutely do this for yourself and increase in your ability to manage your mind. Okay, so positive affirmation number 1. I believe change is possible. I talk about this on page 21 of my book, The Possibility Mom, where I jump into, here, can you read that? Believe change is possible. Where I talk about how limiting beliefs is the really we are our own bottleneck when it comes to the pursuit of our dreams. It is how we think about ourselves that honestly makes and breaks a dream. Think about it. Anything in your life that you've wanted to do, whether it be start a business, whether it be go back to work, whether it be go to school, what is the thing that separates that goal from happening or not happening? It's you. And oftentimes it's us telling ourselves, oh, there's no way I could do that. Oh, I can never launch that. Oh, no, I'm not good at business. Or, oh, there's no way I could, make time for that. Whatever it is. But number 1, believing that change is possible in anything you're trying to move forward. I believe change is possible. That is positive affirmation number 1. Positive affirmation number 2 from my book, The Possibility Mom, is on page 29. And some of these are directly from the book. And some of these I've kind of just summarized from what I'm talking about in the book. But on page 29, I share, and it's kind of right here, in this little quote box. Success is more than career advancement and financial security. This is a limiting belief that I had in my head for years and years and years and years. And there's going to be some overlap with other positive affirmations. But if you are a working mom and you feel, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're trying to build a business, from a blog or whatever it is, this can be one that can really trip us up if we're not careful. So remembering that success is more than career advancement and financial security is a really important one. Positive affirmation number 3. This is from page 31 of my book. I can pursue my dreams while being a great mom at the same time. And of course, this is woven completely. Do you like my very well-worn, this has got coffee on it. This is my very well-worn coffee. But if you look, this might be backwards on your screen, but the the tagline of my book, How to Be a Great Mom and Pursue Your Dreams at the Same Time. That message is woven, obviously, completely through this book. And it's woven completely through my life, like that it is possible with strategy and with the correct activities in our calendar to have, to be a great mom and pursue your dreams at the same time. And I've got loads of videos on time management and how to discover what is important for you. And I'll link those for you right here in the cards. Positive affirmation number 4. And this is an exercise. This is a really, really, really practical exercise that I have in my book on page 52. It's like the entire chapter. Chapter number 5, identifying your why. And in this, I have you create almost a mission statement for your life, something that you can continue to come back to when you feel like everything is, going haywire, when nothing is working out, when all your well-laid plans are not coming to fruition. And this one for me as a Catholic is a deeply personal one for me. And this is the affirmation that I tell myself. I believe God has a plan for my life that is better than my own. And that is why I trust him with everything. I believe God has a plan for my life that is better than my own. And that is why I trust him with everything. Positive affirmation number 5. And this comes from a chapter in my book where I talk about depression and anxiety and how that, the presence of that in my husband's life and how he navigates that impacts our lives as a couple and as a family. And we've talked about that loads here on this channel. And I can definitely link a playlist where we have, really, really gone into quite detail. We're pretty much an open book on this topic at this point. But this is something that, if you follow me on Instagram at Lisa Canning, you've heard me say this many, 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 many times. And this is the positive affirmation or script, if you will, of I can do hard things. Here's what I know about the brain. And this is what has been very much, I've learned so much more about in my work with the Women's School, which I will share with you in just a moment, is that our brain will look to whatever we put in front of it. It's a part of our brain called the reticular activator. It literally will expand to continue seeking the things we focus on. And this is why I just, here I have a really, really good example of this. I am basically an expert plumber. With 8 small children. I have fished basically everything you can think of under the sun out of my toilets. Probably the most interesting one that caused us the most problems was a screwdriver that wedged itself sideways. It was like a mini screwdriver. It wedged itself sideways. So that was no fun. And then another one that was completely problematic was an entire tube of toothpaste, like an entire tube of toothpaste. Anywho, so, yet again, this had happened where one of my toddlers had put something, and this time it was my daughter's toilet. And I was so overwhelmed because it was at the end of a long day already. And, bedtime in my house is quite the little operation. And it had already been, after many, many, many sort of like trying conversations or what have you, defiance from kids. And I caught myself being like, I cannot do this. And I said it out loud. And what was so interesting was that my two girls, Evelyn and Rose, who are 10 and almost 7, they were right in front of me. And I saw them looking at me and I was like, Lisa, you have a choice. You can expand, like your brain will just continue to look at how hard everything is, or you can change. And that's when I said to myself, I can do this. Verbally, I was like, nope. I can do this. We're going to find a plunger. Girls, I'm going to teach you how to unclog a toilet. And that's what happened. And I think if nothing else, like, why should we care about any of this anyways? Yes, of course, we should care about this for our own sanity, for our own cortisol levels, for our ability to thrive. But of course, we should care about this for what our children see and how our children perceive hard things and how our children can handle problem solving and solutions, which they need in the world to thrive, to cope, to be well, right? And so this is a really, I love this one, and I say this to myself all the time. I can do hard things. And then finally, on page 151 in my book, I talk about failure. And a script that I say to myself all the time is that I do not fear failure. Rejection also could be very much tied up in there. I do not fear rejection. And that has been very, very helpful to me in making forward progress in my business and writing my book. And I share in that chapter how I was epically afraid of what people were going to think. I was epically afraid that people were just going to like take my book and put it in the recycling bin. I was epically afraid of what people were going to think of me. And the faster I got over that, the faster I got over, this fear of failure, the faster the book got published, and you and I are chatting about it. All right. So those are my positive affirmations from my book. Now I want to share some positive affirmations that have been very helpful to me that I have learned through my work in the Women's School. So if you are not familiar, the Women's School is this, honestly, a beautiful movement, I want to call it, towards wholeness. It has been founded by my dear friend, January Donovan, and I take women through a program that she has developed called the Art of Being a Woman Masterclass. And in that class, I meet with women in small groups that it just, honestly, I have so much fun. They are honestly just the best way to spend, like an hour and a half or so. I have made incredible relationships myself through the school, as well as I have seen some pretty powerful transformations happen. And it is honestly just the gift the school has been to myself as well are some of the things that I want to share with you, some of the scripts that I've gotten from the school. So some positive affirmations that help me out on the daily, managing 8 kids, a marriage, a business, all the things. Number 1, I am a woman of solution. So in that experience with the plunger that I was describing with my daughters, what came out of my mouth? I cannot do this. An exasperated, I cannot do this. And then when I saw them staring at me, I flipped the switch that reminded me that I am a woman of solution. I'm a woman of solution. That is one that I would like to put in front of my mirror, in my office. I should really get something made up that literally says that I'm a woman of solution. Another one that is similar to some other themes that we were talking about earlier, my self-worth is not defined by my performance. This is a really important one, I think, today in our generation, where we are celebrated for so many external things. We are celebrated for, what we put on Instagram. It is just so easy to get affirmation in that way, and in like a heart. Sometimes it's like really quick. I think this is honestly another one that I could get like tattooed to my arm. Like, my self-worth is not defined by my performance. I am worthy just as I am. Okay, number 3, I do not need to be perfect in order to be loved. For those of you who are fellow recovering perfectionists, this might be one that you want to write down. Write this one down. I do not need to be perfect in order to be loved. And then finally, the opinion of others does not inform my opinion of myself. The opinion of others does not inform my opinion of myself. And I know so many of them are kind of like interrelated and interwoven. If you were to press me on the affirmations that I tell myself the most, is number 1 from my book, I Can Do Hard Things. And then number 2 from the Woman's School, I Am a Woman of Solution. Let me know in the comments if any of these has resonated with you. And if you are curious how, number 1, to develop your own list of scripts or positive affirmations, and then number 2, how to actually recall them. So meaning, when you're in a moment like I was with the plunger, and you're tempted to fall back into negative thinking or doomsday thinking, or just exasperated, like, forget it, I'm just going to scroll on Instagram and not figure anything else out. I want to invite you to join me in the Woman's School and the Art of Being a Woman mastermind experience. This has been, I have now taken, I want to say, over almost 50 women through this program. And the transformation that I've seen in them, as well as in myself, honestly, has just been a thrill. And it truly is a lifeline. If you want to live a peaceful life where it where things can come at you, and instead of reacting with ugh or frustration or doomsday or blame or shame on yourself or guilt, if you would like to be able to respond to things in life in a more peaceful way, in a more intentional way, if you would like to design your life so that you are remembered as a person who is positive, so that you are remembered as a person who contributed in a meaningful way to her relationships, to her home, to her community. If you would like to feel like you're living life on purpose and not by accident, if you'd like to feel like you are living fully alive and making your dreams become reality, I would love to invite you into my next round of groups, which is going to begin the beginning of November. And I'm going to put a link below where you can learn all about it. Spots are going to go quickly if my conference in August is any indication of the interest level around this experience. And so if you want to secure your spot with me and to journey with me and other like-minded women, I am so excited to invite you into this unique opportunity. And let me know in the comments what being more peaceful would do for your life, what being more peaceful would do for your family. This is a journey that I continue to still be on. We never fully arrive, so to speak. This is definitely something that I continue to fight for every day. I fight for my ability to respond in a peaceful manner. I fight for my ability to be more graceful, to be more open-minded, to be more gentle. I fight for my ability to respond in a way to my kids that will honor, that will be firm, that will be necessary in situations where appropriate, like necessarily firm, but also honor their dignity and their self-worth. I don't believe that life is meant to be a constant cycle of shame and blame and guilt. I believe that suffering is for our good. I believe that God allows suffering in order for us to meet Him in a very intimate way. So I don't believe that the purpose of life is that we never experience suffering. but I believe that God has given us the power of the mind, and that we can, as the Bible says, renew our minds and be transformed by that renewal. So if this is interesting, intriguing, if you are curious, come along with me in this journey. I would love to journey with you in a more connected way. If you like the videos that you see here and would love a more intentional transformation, and where you'd like to also make friends on the journey, just click the link below and you can learn all about what this experience entails. That is all from me on these 2 p.m. lives. I think this is going to be a regular gig. If you, if you like this 2 p.m. live content, give me a thumbs up. And if you are new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am always in your corner, and I am excited to continue to journey with you as we design our beautiful lives. Bye, guys.